Welcome to the sizzling world of love, lust, and laughs. And more importantly, desire. This is Desire Dialogues. Get ready to dive into an electrifying podcast hosted by yours truly. I am a passionate love guru and a relationship extraordinaire. So buckle up, folks. We are going to embark on a relationship roller coaster ride through the maze of love, desire, sex, and everything in between. Have you ever wondered why your love life feels like a lukewarm cup of coffee? Ugh. Fret not. I'm here to sprinkle in some magic dust and spice things up. As a certified sex, love, and relation coach, I have seen it all. Twists, turns, and everything beyond 50 Shades of Grey, from the woes of modern dating to the intricacies of long-term relationships. We're diving into the pool of common struggles and cravings that keep us on our toes and cravings that keep our toes curled. So join me as we flip through the pages of love, turn up the heat of passion, and discover the secret sauce to a fulfilling, spicy love life. Grab your headphones, hit that play button, and let's embark on a journey where desire, love, lust, and laughter all collide. All right, gather around for a sassy yet insightful dive into this roller coaster world of intimacy in your relationships. So here's the thing, right? We're going to dish the real tea about intimacy. It's not just about candlelit dinners and rose petals. Oh no. It's more about vulnerability, connection, and a whole lot of communication. From those heart-thumping, passionate moments to the real talks about needs and desires, intimacy can truly be a wild ride. You know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, honey, right? Sometimes it's really navigating through some awkward shit, dealing with differences in libidos, and really kind of finding that sweet spot between giving space and closeness. And it is a delicate dance. So let's not forget also the so important role of technology now in modern relationships, from virtual hugs to navigating the pitfalls of how much time is too much screen time. So the digital age really puts a spin on what closeness even means. So grab your mugs, pop those earbuds in, and join us, right? We're going to really dissect real quick the ins and outs of intimacies and relationships. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it's messy. It's magical, but it's really definitely worth talking about. So let's talk about some challenges. All right, first and foremost, communication challenges. It can be really difficult to express your needs and desires and boundaries. We can worry really about a fear of judgment when we do share these things, and a misunderstanding if they don't fully understand what you're trying to ask for. And also, we have so many different communication styles. That creates hurdles too. Secondly, trust issues. So being able to open up, really can, create its issues. First off, did you start out with some trust issues from past relationships? What's in your, belief and baggage backpack that you brought into this relationship? That is something that I work on with my coaching clients in my private practice. So building and maintaining trust takes a lot of work. These past experiences, betrayals can really affect our ability to fully open up, right? Number 3, vulnerability barriers. So opening up requires a whole lot of vulnerability, which can feel really risky, right? You can be, scared to be rejected or being hurt, and that can truly hinder your intimacy. Number 4, mismatched expectations. So differences in desired levels of intimacy, whether it's physical or emotional, can ultimately lead to frustrations and feeling of disconnect. Number 5, routines and distractions. Hey, we're busy. We got schedules. We got routines and distractions, right? Hello, technology. Again, that really helps steal the quality time from your relationship. Make it harder to even nurture your intimacy in the first place. Number 6, physical intimacy challenges. So issues like performance anxiety and discomfort, discussing your preferences can actually put a strain on that physical closeness. Number 7, emotional baggage. Just like I mentioned before, past traumas and unresolved emotional baggage in your backpack can really cast a shadow on your current relationship and affects its ability to actually be able to fully engage intimately. That is something that I work on very closely with all of my clients. All of these are actually, because intimacy is a challenge, and you're not alone if it is. And you're not alone if it wasn't a challenge at one point and then in a different season or phase of your relationship it is, because things change. Number 8 is the lack of connection, right? You're feeling emotionally just disconnected or mentally disconnected despite actually being close. It really helps foster this sense of emptiness, and you feel really lonely. Number 9 is external stressors. Are you stressed out with the banking, your financials, your work, the family issues? My goodness, that all spills right on over and impacts our ability to connect intimately. Number 10, neglecting self-care. This can also be a little bit of self-sabotage. You really just ignore your personal needs, and that leads to burnout. So, I want you to imagine intimacy as a plant, right? You got to water it. Over time, life's craziness can make the watering seem miles away. Stress, routine, and becoming comfortable can make that plant droop down a little bit, right? But sometimes the plant just needs a little extra TLC to bloom again. When you take those times to reconnect, spice things up with bring a nice little splash of novelty and newness, and communicate openly while you're doing this, it really can give that plant the boost it actually needs. So habituation, which is the sciencey term for getting used to stuff, can make our relationship seem less exciting over time, right? Balancing that security with the novelty is like a seesaw. You have that too much security can lessen the thrill of new experiences. Then you have those external factors, right? And stressors like family, health. That really crashes on the intimacy party. But I want you to remember that every relationship is a unique chemistry experience. Sometimes a little tweak here and there can help reignite the spark. And each relationship is so different, right? So intimacy dates can be incredibly special. And if you co-design them together, throughout the week leading up to it, really brings in some anticipation and excitement. Never mind the collaboration part of it, which can make you feel closer. And that's that non-physical foreplay for the heart, right? And if you do like this stuff, right, set that scene with soft lighting, romantic tunes, and maybe some candles for that cozy vibe. That's the sensual aspect of it, right? The senses. So you have the soft lighting with your eyes. You have the romantic tunes for your ears. And the candles for that, again, you're looking and it's warm. It feels warm and cozy. And if you're not like that, what if you really feel connected when you're doing things together? So maybe dive into activities, something new, maybe cooking, right? Maybe something messy and fun. Hands-on, right? You're indulging in a DIY spa session in your living room. And if you're one of those really emotional creatures where you need to actually have an emotional connection to want to be sexual, you can share your innermost thoughts and dreams and desires through heartfelt conversations that really help deepen that emotional connection, But the key with that is really creating this safe, loving space to rediscover and nurture your bond. I've actually had clients make a separate room, redid it all over, and that was their sharing room, right? Each room can kind of hold a vibe. What if you fought in this other room before and then it's subconsciously there and you're feeling a little tension, but you're not really sure why? So have this safe space. Maybe it's at the kitchen table and you both have tea, or you both have hot chocolate, and that is your sharing time, right? So there's various types of intimacy, and each kind of intimacy has its own watering amount, really depending on personal preferences, right? So if you love the physical intimacy where you really, your love language is physical touch, which is not sex. Physical touch is closeness, sexual connection, if you want it. But also, too, it's that nice little touch when you're walking by each other. That's massages, right? And then intellectual intimacy, if you really you get turned on and stimulated by the ability to connect intellectually. Maybe watch a movie and dissect it philosophically, from a philosophy perspective afterwards, right? So this may come about with some challenge if you're incompatible interests, or lack of engaging communication, but those things can be worked on, with stimulating conversations. What if you're both spiritual? So spiritual intimacy, you can connect on a deeper soulful level, sharing beliefs and finding meaning together through possibly volunteering, through yoga, through going to church, right? A lot of these really, these challenges and different type of intimacies, they require compromise. But more importantly, a willingness to explore and respect each other's needs and boundaries when it comes to each type of those. There is just always more to learn about your partner. I would love it if you shared with me some feedback. What type of those intimacies is the most important to you? And notice too if a different type of intimacy is more important to your partner or partners, right? And hey, feel free to send me any of those challenges. If you're like, heck yeah, that's me, I can send you a couple tips and tricks. Otherwise, if you want to deep dive into any of these blockages, that is what I do. That is my mission with my relationship coaching. I got you. It's only a barrier if you sit and just look at it. All right? It can be a hurdle when you have somebody else to show you how to jump over it and get past it and help you keep accountable and learn more about yourself. It's so hard to look in the mirror. We see one thing. If someone else is behind us looking in the mirror with us, they have a whole different set of eyes and a whole different set of skill sets to see the situation in a new light. Thanks, my friends. Until next time. Thanks so much again for listening. I would love it if you follow and subscribe to this podcast. It actually helps the podcast programs and platforms be able to recognize the sexuality type of podcasts. They're not necessarily easily searchable, so it would really help other listeners like you be able to get some really fun stuff in between their ears. So feel free to share it with a friend if you think they'd be into this too and learning more about their body, desire, and things to enhance their relationships with themselves or others. Also, all of my information to connect on all the socials, to order yourself some sex toys, are all in the link in the podcast description. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget, pleasure is your birthright, and you don't have to ask permission.